Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Product Placement Spotlight, brought to you by the channel Hey Buy This. As you can tell, this week we're doing Doctor Strange. As always, here are the timestamps where products appear, as well as the brands that represent those products. First off, these Yeezys made by Adidas, in which the good doctor is jamming out during an operation using his iPod. We quickly switch on over to the iPad, which clearly is how most doctors get their information. Now, as soon as the good doctor is done showing all his friends his new tablet, we move on to another surgery scene where the good doctor is utilizing this Medtronic surgical drill. This is actually a legitimate surgical instrument. There's a quick honorable mention for the watch that this guy is wearing. We never get a close-up, but it is featured in several scenes. Here we have a mystery razor. Now I only bring this up because I believe it may be Philips, that being due to the fact that there's an electric Philips razor later on. The good doctor has no shortage of timepieces, as we see from this display here, and there's the brand Jaeger something. Next up, the obligatory vroom vroom scene of the Lamborghini, as it is displayed several times throughout this car scene. Quick interjection of an Honor by Huawei cell phone, before getting back to the Lamborghini. In editing, I discovered there's actually another product here, this Soul bottle. I don't know what it is. If you do, comment down below. Post-accident, the doctor has upgraded to a Windows Surface. And this time in the operating room, we see Pentero, which is also from Zeiss, a legitimate medical device. Another short scene with the mystery razor, still most likely Philips. Now this pen left me somewhat in the dark. I thought at first it might be a Microsoft Surface pen, but it doesn't seem to match any of the images I found online. If anybody recognizes it, please let me know in the comments down below. Further on in this scene, we see Skype highlighted on the surface, which is clear from the controls being used, as well as a small logo in the upper left-hand corner. Now because the Yeezys don't display an obvious Adidas logo, it came to no surprise to me that Adidas found another way to display their actual logo somewhere in the movie. That being during this scene, where someone I'm pretty sure is not Antonio Banderas lets our hero know that the only way he can reach the sacred temple is by wearing an Adidas full tracksuit. Obviously. With all the shitty lighting in this shot, you'd think it would be hard to see a brand, but somehow the Adidas logo always makes it into that one little ray of light. Anyway, now that that's finally done with. In this Nepalese alleyway, we see no logos except for CocaCola, pretty prominently, but sometimes only for a millisecond, or a quick shot in between. There's the broken watch scene again, before returning directly to the Coca-Cola advert. Our hero chills next to this Coke holder for a couple brief scenes. One more shot of the broken watch, although this time we get a view of the backside. Not sure if that's significant or not, but I decided to include it in case the numbers were significant. Here's that Philips electric razor I mentioned earlier. In this next scene, we have a curious case. Now, I didn't include audio for this section because of certain YouTube drama going on right now, as far as content claiming and whatnot. However, there is a section of a Beyonce song that is played during this segment. The question being, does that count as product placement? Later on, our hero returns back to the Microsoft Surface so that he can write out some emails using Internet Explorer, or whatever it's called nowadays. When we later return to the operating theater, we see more legitimate medical equipment by Eschmann. Now in this next scene, you're going to have to look very closely. Now see, while this guy's getting a bag of chips, you'll see in the corner here an advertisement for Emerald Nuts. That's all I could find in that scene. Kale Chips. A quick shot back in the operating theater shows medical equipment, this time from Mindray. And last but not least, we have Yakult Probiotic Yogurt Drink. Okay, so of the products and brands that we saw, I decided to mark off all of the legitimate medical equipment brands, despite them being in there quite prominently, I don't believe that the everyday consumer is going to be purchasing those items. There were 2 verbal advertisements, the first Google Translate and the second Beyonce. Again, those are up for debate. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed it, give me a like, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever. Bye.